President Mike Pence giving a speech at Hudson Institute, and he is calling out China, pointing the finger directly at them on many things. This is an area we've talked about many times, and it's one that I see they're going to be making moves on here shortly. And it ties into Venezuela, as you're going to see here in just a second. But number one, they are accusing China of meddling in the election process here in this country. So we heard all the headlines of Russia, Russia, Russia. Now, the Trump administration pointing the finger at China. This is on the heels of the whole trade war thing back and forth. And Trump, saying, oh, Xi Jinping's a friend. And then after the trade war starts, he's like, oh, maybe we're not friends this week. Well, here on this world stage, Pence making these statements, one, about them meddling in the politics and the election process, and then number two, he sounds off on this incident in the South China Sea. He states that China approached the USS Decatur, came within 45 yards of it, which I covered in a separate video. It caused our vessel to have to maneuver, avoiding a collision, and he states that they're going to continue to go up in here. Anywhere that they're allowed to go in international waters, where the law sees it, they will not be intimidated, they will not stand down, is what Pence is saying. So if you thought the confrontation between us and China coming within 45 yards of one another out in the ocean was close, we could see another one. Now, Pence is also addressing the fact that the Chinese government have gone to 3 Latin American nations, trying to get them to sever ties with Taiwan and to recognize China. And this is what he says. He says that we need to embrace Taiwan as they're embracing democracy, and that it shows a better path for all Chinese people. Do you see where this is going, folks? The Pentagon has been arming Taiwan for some time now. He also goes on talking about the Taiwan Strait. And the U.S. military has been sailing through there, and so has China. Now, do you think China is going to stand for the U.S. arming Taiwan right there in the belly of China? It's happening. They've pulled off drills that look like they're going to try to invade Taiwan and all this other stuff. That is a flashpoint. Taiwan is something to pay attention to. Also, the South China Sea. As Pence is saying, we're going to keep on rolling right up in here. There's nothing you're going to do to stop us. In terms of international law, they say they respect the one China policy. But what they're doing with the one China policy is they're going around and they're dumping money into these governments that the United States is opposed to, like Venezuela and Maduro. Regardless if the guy's a puppet or not, one thing's for sure, the people are suffering there. And China is throwing its weight behind it, all the support, so their money and everything else could be crumbling. China is keeping them alive in so many ways. China and their other allies. Of course, you have Russia and anyone else that's jumped to that side. But these are warnings sent out by Pence again in terms of China, Venezuela, and where they're going to go from here. I'm going to leave a link, and I'm going to continue to update on this as things change. Make sure to tune into Underground World News Live, Friday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern, Dabu 77 for more. Hope to see you guys there.